What's up? What's up? What's up? It's Frankie, Brad, Eric, and we're quarantining ourselves.
Not really. We're in the same room.
Shh. It looks like you're in a different place than me. And we're watching a lot of movies. And most of all, what we're here to do is we're going to talk about 3 movies that we watched. We thought they were all going to be, virus related. Some more so, some less so.
Wait, do we want to talk about our just general quarantine experience so far?
We'll talk a little quarantine experience, but it's a preview.
It's a preview?
It's a preview.
It's a teaser. It's a taster.
So I think how I want to do this is we have 3 movies. We have 28 Days Later, we have Contagion, and we have Pontypool. And I think what we'll do is we'll let you know when we're about to talk about them, and then we'll give you a chance to we'll let you know when we're about to talk about that one each movie in particular. We'll give you a chance to shut off if you want to go watch the movie along with us.
That hurts the metrics for sure.
And then come back to podcast metrics are a mess. So you'll come back, you'll listen to that segment, and then you'll continue to watch movies as we will be. Maybe even have to watch more movies and pod more. But whatever we can do to play our role in the efforts against the coronavirus. Yep. And this is the Rec.
Said we could have made bucks, he was hating. Stuck by still make much on the pavement. Never said, bro, you hate stuff, feels tasteless. Love, then I got up, got Mason. I'm still on the pavement. I'm still getting payment.
So Brad wants to talk his overall quarantine experience before we jump into our first movie.
Yeah. So the grocery stores, do we need to talk about it?
So the grocery stores.
It's just been kind of a mess. I've gone 3 times in 3 days. The toilet paper thing is real. I haven't been able to get my hands on a bag of spaghetti in 3 days. I don't get it. It's definitely like people like my mom who are going into these stores and just like buying a can of black beans when they haven't opened a can of black beans in 25 years.
So a couple things. One, I heard of one person said that they saw someone buying all of the coffee filters. And they were like, this guy must really drink a lot of coffee. And he approached the man.
He's making masks.
That's what I thought. I thought the story was going to end with masks, but the guy said that he can't find toilet paper anywhere, so he's using the coffee filters.
That's disgusting.
And I've been thinking about it. I'm going to give it a try, I think.
Scratchy butthole, dude.
You think it'll be scratchy? They're pretty soft.
Scratchy anus, dude.
Okay, scratchy butt.
What about the reusable coffee filters? Like the metal mesh ones?
Well, metal mesh.
You can like clean them off.
Guy, I'm out of that.
I got another angle on the grocery store though. I think we should start like another part of this hysteria. We should start buying all the toothpaste and then be like, look at all the empty shelves of toothpaste and just see like how many people in the world will go out. Next thing you know, we'll see pictures of people in like San Francisco. There'll be no toothpaste. It's just kind of like, why did toilet paper become like the necessity? Yeah. There's a lot of necessities. Like I don't want to run out of toothpaste.
Well, I saw bags of spaghetti and I was like, do I take this opportunity to buy 15 and then just see what happens? Or do I rock with one, like a response? But the next person's definitely buying 14 bags of spaghetti after I bought 1 bag of spaghetti. So I don't know. You do what you can to fight the virus.
You do what you can. Any grocery store takes, Frank?
I've had a decent experience.
Fuck you.
I haven't had a hard time finding what I needed.
These rich white people coming into my city, buying all my groceries and taking them back to Ferndale.
You think that's what's happening?
Yeah.
Is my screen doing wacky stuff when I switch?
They're trying to bleed the impoverished city dry.
It is, Frank?
Yeah, I can just see the lighting. Like,
no, whatever. It's gonna.
Also,
happen.
I'm kind of losing Brad. I can't really hear him that much anymore. I don't know why.
Hello.
That's good. When Eric's talking, you're like drown out. So.
Oh yeah.
Well, good. So, at what age did you guys think that? At what age do you think you were better at public speaking than Donald Trump is now?
Probably took me a while. I really got comfortable in college, and now I really think I could go up on a stage and make some people laugh.
I think 6th grade, my public speaking level was superior to Donald Trump. Like
Yeah,
7th grade, I was going no note card. Like I haven't done a note card speech maybe ever. I'm more of a freestyle kind of guy.
See, I tried to do that, and I like bombed horribly.
You bombed.
It was like really, really bad. Mm-hmm. I was like, I'm cool, I'm slick, I can improvise, and just no, I knew nothing what I was gonna say. It was just bad.
I think high school, I probably was at a better level.
Like sophomore year, you could debate stage him.
Yeah.
He'd say something was tremendous, and then you would say, your thing has like this stat, this stat, this stat. And he would say, my thing is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Which is, hard to argue repetition, but.
So, Brad, are you excited have you heard about Quarantine 15?
No, what's this?
It's like the freshman 15.
Okay.
I'm wondering, are you excited to gain 15 pounds, or would you be trying to avoid such things?
No, I'm trying my dirty bulk, but at the same time, so dirty bulk is you eat like gross foods to try to gain weight.
Wait, what does that mean? Like gross is in like unhealthy?
McDonald's every day.
Yeah.
Like it's like a supersize me type deal. But then I don't have enough money to buy enough food to eat more than one meal a day. So I dirty bulk like 1,500 calories, but then I don't reach like the 4,000 needed to put on weight.
And then you're like intermittent fasting, dirty bulking.
Yes.
Which I feel like is kind of just like you're not meeting any of the requirements of any diet.
No. I think that's fair.
Well, anyways, the Quarantine 15. If you can ever get your hands on some pasta, you might gain some weight.
We'll see.
Okay. So we've talked movies that we've watched. There's a few other things we've really been keeping up with our television. I watched Dave. Which I think is hilarious, by the way. I encourage others to see it as well. I watched one episode of Love is Blind.
Okay.
Any takers? Any takers?
No, I think we're late on this, and I don't want to watch it. So
I just have one. I watched one episode, but I wasn't into it. My one beef is that everybody is good looking on the show.
I heard they're not as good looking as the Bachelor people.
I mean, but they're
which makes it less fun.
They're all. But see, what I would need is I feel like they made like the NCAA tournament, but there's no Lehigh. Like I want there to be like
there's like a redheaded guy. He's your Lehigh. I
need like some very, very unattractive people that just like wow somebody with their personality, and then we can put everything to the test when they actually are meant to see each other, and I want to see how that goes.
Yeah,
what's the point of this?
Yeah, there's no big reveal if like everyone's just like super attractive.
Yeah, you're just like cool. I found someone I like characteristics wise, and I like them physically.
Well, it's supposed to be like a race thing because there was like an interracial couple. Did I just spoil it?
And we're like in 1960, and
yes,
somehow
exactly.
that's like hard.
The show is not very woke.
All right, Netflix is not woke. That's where we're going with it.
Yeah.
All right, which movie do we want to talk about first, or do we have
Can
any?
I get 2 seconds?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I watched so many movies, but I watched Blow over the weekend. Are you guys familiar with it at all?
Yeah.
So it's the Johnny Depp. Like cocaine trafficker movie. And so I was watching it and I was like, this movie's awful. It's not good. But then I was like, it kind of looks cool. So like, what other movies did this guy make? Do you know what other movies he made?
No.
So I Google him.
Who's the guy?
Doesn't matter. I Google him, and guess what? He died in 2002. I was like, the movie came up in 2001. He died in 2002.
Blow.
Guess how he died?
Blow?
He had a heart attack during a celebrity all-star game because of too much cocaine.
Wow.
During what, like the softball game at the baseball?
Some type of basketball game, yeah.
Oh, a celebrity basketball game?
Yeah.
Not the all-star game, though.
No.
All right, well, this guy's fake news over here.
Isn't that weird?
Spreading misinformation about people's deaths.
I mean, he didn't die on TV in the celebrity all-star game, but it was
You said celebrity all-star game.
A celebrity all-star game.
No, it's a celebrity basketball game. It's not the celebrity all-star game. There's only one of those.
The same thing.
What was it, like the all-star game of our rec league?
I don't know. It had celebrities in it, and this guy died because he did too much cocaine.
Gotcha. Understood.
Wow.
Any other movies we need to speak on? Watched a couple of South by Southwest movies. Can't really talk about those yet, but we will. Shout out to Cooper Rafe, though. Shit house. I liked it a lot. Anything else?
I'm good.
All right. Should we talk about our failures in this virus movie extravaganza? Because I had a couple failures. Number one is Brad wanted to watch the movie Rec, or like parenthesis REC, Spanish movie. I go into Amazon, I click purchase. I see like a 2 stars out of 5, and I'm like, well, this is weird. I hit the Rotten T. The Rotten T is like an 87, and I'm like, well, then what the hell is wrong with Amazon? We just have like some lowlifes here. And I click play, and it's just like this very American, like not even commercial level overdub vocal to this like Spanish reporter talking. And I'm very thrown off by this, but I'm like, oh, this must just be like how the movie's made. So I like fast forward a little. It's still just this like stupid woman's voice, and the faces aren't matching up. Probably like our audio in this video is not matching up. And the whole thing was just like really uncomfortable. And I was just like, there's no way I'm watching this. Frankie then hits me with the reviews, and it's like, yeah, it was a 2-star review because everybody had the same experience.
First review.
I was just way too eager. So we failed to watch Rec.
It was a great movie. I watched it like 3 years ago, and I'm sad you guys didn't get to see it.
Was it zombies?
You know, I'm not really sure. I can't remember. It was something like that.
It's a great movie. I just don't remember any.
It wasn't like demons. Oh, it might have been demons.
It looks like they made like 4 of them.
They did.
Is it good enough? Is it good enough to have like 3 sequels?
Well, Paranormal Activity had like 5 sequels or whatever.
Paranormal Activity is like kind of good.
Yeah, and the first one of those movies was really good.
Does that answer your question?
I guess so.
It doesn't take a lot for a horror movie to have a bunch of sequels.
True.
Yeah.
True. Second failure. There's this website streaming service called Shudder.
Are you aware of this, Frank?
Yeah. Well, I know.
Okay.
I know of the site.
It schemed on me.
It schemed on me too.
And now it hasn't fully schemed on me yet because Brad and I both did our 7-day free trials. So I have like 5 days left to cancel this like $80 endeavor.
Yeah, it's gonna charge you a lot.
Yeah, because I did like the yearly plan. I wanted to get a 7-day free trial to watch Pontypool. Because when you Google Pontypool, a Shudder link comes up. Same thing with the Rec. It says, you want to watch this not with a stupid American overdub? Shudder, Rec. And I'm like, okay, cool. I start a 7-day free trial. Neither of these movies are on the website.
No, it schemed hard.
It says like the Gremlins at work. So
wow,
I feel like I'm giving like, all press is good press, but and we're talking Shudder right now, which probably does not deserve our breath.
There was some cool movies there, but I feel like they're on all the other services like combined.
There was very few.
It's
cool
like
movies.
organized. Like, I mean, a lot of movies like Pontypool.
I would hope. I would hope. Do we want to start with Pontypool?
That's fine.
let's do it.
So this is your opportunity, guys and gals, to
Cut the tape.
to either go and Amazon it as you should, or to go and stream it for free, which you
Should not do. It was
should
very
do,
annoying.
Like I did. It was very.
I had like a lot of issues. So go buy the movie.
Go buy the movie. Support cinema.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't take it from us. All right. So I think I want to approach every movie by saying, first of all, did we like it? Did we not like it? We had a big argument about how do we rate movies from here on out.
I think we're on the same page
Let's
now.
put that argument to the test now that we are on the same page. So, someone else lead it off, please.
I'll go
I
ahead.
liked it.
Well, actually, hold on. Why don't we like lay the lumber a little bit real quick here?
Quick check to make sure you're still recording audio.
Very smart. We are at 17 minutes and it's going up.
Good.
So Pontypool, directed. Are you talking?
Sorry,
Yeah,
Brad.
go ahead.
Just
No. So Pontypool, it's a Canadian movie, which had its effects. There is a couple of sequences where they speak French. They did not do subtitles because we're just presumed to know French. I lost 10 minutes of the movie.
No, it was bad.
But Bruce McDonald directed, screenplay by Tony Burgess, like Plaxico Burgess.
Those are two different names. Burris and Burgess.
Plaxico Burgess, that is a different name.
Do not disrespect.
There's an old Michigan player
Super
who had the
Bowl
last
champ.
name Burgess, who had like a pick six against Notre Dame, and I'm not remembering his first name.
Oh, I think I do remember that guy.
He had dreads. He was like a
Yeah.
safety. So, anyways, based on a book, Pontypool changes everything. What'd you think, Brad?
I thought the movie kind of lost itself. Like, it was like really good, like up until like this doctor appears. I thought the concept was really interesting. You're this radio host and two people who work at the station, kind of like trapped in a studio, during like a zombie situation. But there's a big reveal where they explain like why the zombies are doing what they're doing, and it just like made no sense. And then I think the movie confused itself, and it was annoying.
All right, I disagree with you, but I want give me a score first before I disagree with you.
So I thought like 60% of it was like really good and interesting. So I'll give it like a 6.
Okay. So I have it a little higher. Give it like a 6.
Okay.
So, excuse me. I actually feel like I disagree. So the beginning to me, it was all good. It was all artful. I just mostly was like impressed by the fact that they found a way to make like a zombie movie on like a budget. Like we could go to the recording studio, Frank, and just kind of like
Make this movie.
have what we need. We just need like a Valenti-esque voice. We get that. Remember that guy that like homeless guy that they found that had like the golden voice like 10 years ago and like on Good Morning America
Yeah.
and everything.
we need to find our radio host. Yeah.
Yeah, we need that guy.
I'll be your guy.
We put him in a studio. We just kind of like let him riff. I felt like that was like a really cool way to do a zombie movie, but like on a budget that like anybody could do. Mm-hmm. But I was a little maybe bored. It wasn't like super fun or exciting for the first half.
I thought the radio host did a really cool job. I thought he was an interesting character.
Yeah, the camera was moving cool, and the guy was like a good enough character to be like. I was intrigued enough to continue watching, of course.
I kind of respect
Yeah.
them putting like a 63-year-old in a leading role,
Yeah, I agree.
like as the hero.
Yeah. I actually, though, where I would say the movie was a little better than you said is I thought the language thing was kind of cool. I mean, it was like stupid, but as like virus movies go, except for Contagion, which we'll talk about soon, they're usually stupid. And I felt like the language thing was like kind of cool, kind of tricky. I was like, it doesn't make any sense. But once you decide that like this exists, the thing they do is like kind of poetic and cool and like kind of makes sense.
Frank,
I thought it was super dumb. the language thing was just like, it was like a lot of movies. I put myself in a position where I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to accept what's happening. I'm not going to find any problems with it. I'm just going to let it let it come at me and see how it goes. But like, I could not do it with that. I just I liked the movie. Again, the first half was great. It was kind of just like a day at the radio station. And I liked the concept of experiencing this all underground. Like you have no idea what's going on. If it's real, if it's not real, if people are messing with you. That was great. And then the language thing was just super dumb.
But the language thing is why like being a radio host is like it's like why the concept
it's
exists.
why it matters. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess. But like
But it's still dumb.
like the final scene, like it's full spoilers because we're
Full spoilers.
Full spoilers. When
Gave
he's
you an
like
opportunity.
when he's on the radio, like saying just like random words to try to like like, I don't know what he was doing, but he was just saying words, and it was really serious. And I was like, "This is like, I can't do it."
Yeah.
I guess I would have liked maybe if they would have, when they're doing like the kill his kiss, kill his kiss, kill his kiss.
It was so cheesy and stupid. It wasn't cheesy. It just made no sense.
No, but I would have liked if they would have kind of like gone directly in that like direction where it's like maybe the word kill is what's like causing all of this. So all you have to do,
if everyone had the same word,
like
it's
if,
not
if
just
the
like
virus
a bunch of
literally
random words.
Yeah. The virus literally is the word kill, and therefore you have to like make the word kill not mean like
Kill?
eat the shit out of somebody.
Yeah.
Then maybe the whole thing would have made sense, and like his approach to what he like yells on the mic could be like a little more directed.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like they like lost you before then though.
No, I initially had thought when they did that whole kill his kiss thing that like kill, like that's the word. Mm-hmm. And then he hops on the radio and starts saying nonsense. And I'm like, well, what's going on here?
True. I agree. So a couple more directions I want to take it. One, did we learn anything about our current situation that we need to take from this movie?
Batten down the hatches, lock it down, social distancing. Stay away from people.
Social distancing, except for when you find a cute girl that you like.
Yeah.
Low-key, though, I was like, if I thought he might say like a, what are those called? Like a Woody Woodchuck? What is that called?
Oh, like a tongue twister.
I thought he was about to say like Woody Wood. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? And I thought he was about to like start saying that stuff really fast. So you're just like, I got like the words all scrambled together into one thing.
I thought he was doing like an overload thing, like a machine's going too fast and then like they overheat and then their head explodes.
I thought it was like straight tongue twisty.
I don't know. I also thought the love came a little too strong and a little too fast.
Like it didn't build enough until...
No, the kiss just kind of happened and it was like, I didn't see that coming at all, but like it wasn't a good swerve.
How do you feel in general about a very stressful situation happening to your movie characters and then them like having a passionate moment?
Well, it happens in the next movie too.
It happens in every movie. But like Man of Steel, all of a sudden you got like
a makeout scene on like Lex Luthor's like corpse,
and the like buildings are just like collapsing behind them. Yeah. I mean, like Man of Steel is a bad example because that movie sucks.
Well, I just thought this movie didn't need the love at all. I thought the movie was just kind of good on its own.
You know who was into the love? The little like the intern girl. The intern girl was all in on that guy.
Oh yeah,
she kept giving him the eyes.
Yeah,
I thought
classic eyes.
I was like, it seems like these two are gonna be like in cahoots together, but then I was like, the age discrepancy I think would throw a lot of people off. I don't know if the Canadians. I don't know what
Love
they're
is
into.
Blind though.
Kill us, kiss.
Love is Blind.
Kill us.
What if they put like a 60-year-old in the Love is Blind thing?
That would make it a fun thing.
Yeah, like an age thing.
Do like a 60-year-old man and like a 400-pound man.
You need some upsets. You need some Belmonts. Yeah. I just don't really understand this. Like, all right, we got a bunch of blue bloods facing off against each other. I don't know.
Can we talk about this post-credit scene?
There's a post-credit scene?
I missed it. How are you aware that there was one?
I was on the IMDb and it said under the crazy credit section, it said there is a post-credit scene.
Oh, nice.
All right. Well, please explain.
I can't.
What?
I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't know what happened.
Do you have anything for me?
Say the words, though.
I have nothing.
Say words.
I got nothing. It was black and white, and he was like monologuing about something that it didn't make sense, and then it like faded into color, which was actually kind of cool, and then it was over, and I was like, I don't know what that means.
So he was just trying to like tongue twist us. He was kill us kissing us?
No. He was like saying something.
Yeah, but you said he was saying nothing.
No, he
That's
was
the
saying
whole point,
words.
Frank.
I just didn't get it.
And that's how I feel about the movie.
He wasn't doing the radio thing. He was just like talking.
Like not into the mic?
No, they were like at a bar. It was like a completely different thing. I have no idea.
Whoa!
watch it. Go
I would
watch
love to
this
see
shit
this
so
guy
we
in
can
a
talk
bar
about it.
setting.
Go watch this shit.
He's got the cowboy vibes for sure.
So any more ideas on like what we take out of Pontypool into our real life quarantine situation? I wouldn't mind would this be the worst case scenario? Like the three of us get locked into a basement with a bunch of like mics and stuff?
No.
Would not be worst case scenario.
I would say I did pick up one thing. Lock down the windows because that doctor came like swooping in out of nowhere.
People
and it was
came
like,
in and out.
It was like funny, but it was like, what's going on here? This doctor just showed up.
He had the doctor just kind of like popping in.
It was like funny. I was like, he's like coming down like a slide and like comes down and it's like, oh, hey guys.
You know what kind of got to me? Like Helicopter Pete or whatever his name is.
Oh yeah.
That shit
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of got me sad.
He was a pedophile though.
Fuck.
You didn't catch that?
You know, I caught it. I forgot though. I was like, oh, this is sweet. Like he's not actually in a helicopter. You know, this is like a cute little thing. And then she's like, oh, he's a pedophile.
Why did they?
I wonder why that was in
part
the
of it?
story.
Yeah, why was that a part of any of this? Like that guy
know.
just didn't need to be a pedophile.
Just to keep you on your toes, right?
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna stay inside. We get trapped. You want to get trapped in a place with microphones, and you got to like keep the windows shut best you
I guess
can.
if I'm looking for something in this, it's check all of your sources. When you're in lockdown, when you're in quarantine, make sure you're talking to everyone you know on the outside and every news source you can find to get whatever information. It'll save your life.
That.
Yeah, I mean, like I would trust Helicopter Pete pedophile over like our traditional news sources that we have at our disposal.
Right.
Man
Man on the outside.
Yeah, where else do we need to go with this movie?
You don't think we've
I
exhausted
thought it was an
it?
interesting movie, though.
Did you give us a number, Frank?
No, I think I'm in the same range, though. Like 6.2,
Nice.
something like that.
Well,
It was
you-
better than average, especially for what it's.
That's what I
for
said,
what
right?
it's like the low budget for what it was.
yeah.
They did a really good job creating
For sure.
an atmosphere for it.
I thought it was pretty self-aware. Like it like wasn't trying to do like big theatrical zombie stuff, but like they did some cool stuff. I liked the intern lady like running against the wall. Like that was pretty
Yeah.
cool. And they didn't do they didn't go in the entire action route that like 28 Days Later goes,
Yeah.
which I thought like was a good choice. So
Yeah, they self-aware. They stayed within their what they could do that like looks professional the whole time. So how do we feel about Canada post Pontypool? Seems like pretty dire.
what do you mean?
It seems like even before the zombies showed up, they were kind of just like, so it's like February and like get some whiskey and just like try to get to tomorrow.
I mean that's kind of where I'm at.
I feel like
Is it that sad?
I feel like they're like February though is like November through March.
So they're drinking a lot more whiskey than I am for longer.
We don't really like dive into like depressed whiskey. We're more like we're only like beer depressed.
Okay.
I think like whiskey depressed is like a second level of
That's like
seasonal
a
depression.
Ben Affleck way back type depressed.
No, we're in like the Ben Affleck. We're in the good range. We're in like the shower
We're in
beer
the shower
range,
beer.
the basketball beer range.
I sent Eric a video last night of my shower beer.
A video.
Yeah.
Was it a video? Oh yeah, because if you watch the way back, it like pans up from the shower to the shower beer in the caddy.
I was not in the
Okay.
shower at the same time, Frank.
I mean,
Okay.
like Ben Affleck,
That's what I was worried about.
That's what I thought.
he's not doing it like too wrong. Like the Ana de Armas dating rumors, they're like on a vacation together. He's quarantined right now with Ana de Armas.
I mean, he's a good-looking guy. We knew that.
Like shower beer in hand, Ana de Armas quarantine. That's what his situation's like. Making sports movies that are just like really traditional, played by the script, but like get me and Brad pumped for basketball that we don't get to watch or play anymore. My Monday hoop run got canceled, guys.
Your Monday night hoop run?
Brad's Monday night hoop run. He got one weekend. They finally invited Brad to the hoop run, and then
they quarantined.
And
me.
then Corona.
They saw some sniffles in me, and I went down.
Wow.
Not the case.
I need to exercise more. There was one point where I went in for a layup, and like my leg just went dead, and like I thought, like I just started cramping really bad, and like I was really gonna hurt myself if we played any longer.
Yeah, but like unlike LeBron, you stayed in the game. You came back on defense. We won the game, right?
Yeah, we did.
We did win the game.
We like ran the show, dude.
We were 6-1, and he was cramped up the whole fucking time. Not actually, but just at the end.
I made some big plays though.
He banked in a 3.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't have.
I did some athletic things.
All right.
I'm untapped potential.
What movie do we go to next, Mr. Untapped Potential?
I think let's go Contagion because I have like the most feelings about 28 Days Later.
Okay, let's go Contagion. So now's your chance. This movie, I think, of the 3, tell me if I'm wrong, this is the movie that I most want people to turn off and go watch if they haven't seen.
Yeah.
I kind of like Pontypool. I think I had more fun with Pontypool.
Gave it like a 6.2.
Yeah, I had more fun with that.
And just to be, so we already talked about where you can find Pontypool. Where did we watch Contagion? Contagion is on Xfinity, like free stream, no commercials. Yeah. So like, ask your parents for the login. They're watching their Fox News. You can watch your Contagion.
I paid the $4.
Or you can support cinema.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna start off with like what do we think? Give it a score. Get into our next steps. All right. So we're gonna talk Contagion, and I've quarantined myself to space where there is no known cases of coronavirus. Frank's out here getting everybody fucking infected
in the mean streets.
Yep. He's in the touristy places. That's what did Italy in, Frank. How do you feel about your people? Your people?
That's racist.
Did your parents do like a thing where they're like extra sad because it's Italy?
Because Italy made it happen.
Okay. I was like it would be kind of funny if they did, if they were like, this is our people.
No, I think my parents have never even been to Italy.
Well, yeah. Yeah. But that's a lot of, I mean, they're not like first immigrants, but like a lot of like my like Arabic friends, they like don't go to Iraq. Like, why would you go to Iraq right now? Like, you never go back to Iraq.
Mm-hmm.
Right. No, it just sucks. I mean, I was there so recently, and it's like, it's sad to see that place going through what they're going through.
And we've talked about it, but like the amount of, first of all, immigration being there, or not, Jesus, immigration, tourism being like their major industry.
Their B&B, their bread and butter.
And this is like not racist at all. It's just like the truth that like the Chinese middle class growing so much that like the amount of Chinese people in Italy is just like an insane number. So the idea that you're going to like have people coming from China where coronavirus is like not being taken care of yet. Now they're just like at the Trevi Fountain. And it's just like, how does a country not just get swept by it? And it has happened.
Yeah. One more thing. I think the best thing I've seen out of this, not the Italy balcony videos, but have you guys seen the specific video where the woman's husband gets mad at her because she's playing the recorder outside, and then he takes the like a Tupperware and like smacks it out of her hand and like yells at her? Oh, it's so perfect. Derek, I hope you can like splice in the video here if you can find it.
Ooh, we should splice that in.
It's fucking hilarious. It's like two old Italians yelling at each other.
I love it.
I'm pretty into the balcony videos. I think we're gonna get like too much of it.
I think it's already been too much.
Already too much.
What are we gonna get here? What are we gonna do when that happens here? We don't have balcony. I have a balcony. Get on my roof.
What are we gonna do?
I've been thinking about getting a Nerf hoop and like doing some stuff with that.
My girlfriend texted me today and said buy Grand Theft Auto. So I'm probably gonna do that.
Nice.
Yeah. We can play.
She does not play video games at all either.
No, only Grand Theft Auto. There was a time period where I had Grand Theft Auto. We spent like a week playing it, but that was a long time ago.
I think you're gonna see a lot of that type of stuff.
Yeah. How do I turn? I'm very sick of my space cadet situation here. All right, we're getting out of this. All right, thank God. We back.
I like that when my mic
Okay.
I like
All
that
right,
my mic disappears.
Yeah, this is like super magic trick here. Okay. So we're gonna talk Contagion. Directed by Steven Soderbergh, written by Scott Z. Burns. Scott Z. Burns, big year in 2019. The Laundromat and The Report with Adam Driver in
That
The
was
Report.
the Amazon one.
Yeah. They bought and distributed that. And then Laundromat, I believe Netflix bought and distributed. It was in theaters for a little bit. I probably should still be on Netflix. I thought it was like kind of an underrated movie in 2019. If I'm saying what to watch while you're quarantined, I think The Laundromat would be like a pretty good move. It's very Adam McKay, The Big Short and Vice, kind of like super fourth wall stuff, but like, I don't know, Meryl Streep plays like a fun character. It's just like a fun look into like a pretty boring thing that like made the world a worse place. But Scott Burns, his entire career is built on like diving really deep into a subject, into the journalism of a subject, something that's like real and definitely affecting our lives, and then making a movie that hopefully is entertaining, but definitely kind of like hits you over the head with some truth bombs. And I would say Contagion is that. Frankie, tell us what you thought. Give us a score.
Contagion was just very realistic. Like there wasn't really much like anything made up for this. It seemed like it was a really good telling of what could happen story. Very serious. It was definitely the one that kind of like hit me the most out of these three movies. I thought it was really good. I would give it 7.2.
Oh.
I'm going higher than that.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I would give it, I wouldn't say an 8.2.
Jesus Christ.
I really liked it. Now, I guess my one concern would be that it's not a narrative in the format that like the ending is going to have some like sick like twist or, you know, some cool reveal. It's really just like real life, like sort of what you're going through now, way worse, but you know, just like what could actually happen and what may actually happen in real life at some point. I thought, so what they tried to do at the end there where they bring Matt Damon, who I thought, like, I really like Matt Damon. It's hard to explain why, but I just like love when he's on screen.
Not enough Matt Damon.
Him with Gwyneth Paltrow's camera, which was very 2006.
Cheating whore.
I mean, yeah. I definitely thought, I was like really scared when he hit next on that picture that there was going to be like
a sex tape?
Like a sex tape-esque photo.
He's allowed to be mad. She like cheated and infected the whole United States. So
not just Minneapolis, but also Chicago.
Exactly.
She could have just infected one of the cities, but she had to infect all the cities, you know, for her own personal gain. No,
selfish.
But, no, I feel for Gwyneth Paltrow. She deserves to get what she wants. Yikes. Matt Damon.
I mean, you got to talk about that before you
boring
just do
man.
it.
Matt Damon was clearly not.
He was not phased.
He was not representing in the bedroom as he should have been. And Gwyneth Paltrow did what she needed to do and killed 1 billion people. But I thought like the kind of like the narrative thing they did play, which was, I don't know, it's sort of like Marriage Story-esque, where you just kind of have like a call back to the beginning in like a cute, meaningful way to touch a couple heartstrings. I thought the prom night thing was like real touching.
Yeah.
Because he was like being a dick the whole movie. I mean, he wasn't being a dick, but he was like kicking that kid out of his house the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, it made sense though. He had to.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought that worked well enough to make up for a story that it's kind of impossible to have like a super. I don't know. I don't really have many critiques of it at all, other than like for some reason I don't like anything Lawrence Fishburne has ever been in.
I was gonna say he was like one of my favorite parts of it.
I liked his character. I really liked. One of my favorite things about this movie is they take many characters, but I would say especially Lawrence Fishburne and Jude Law, and they make them both not like hero and villain, but both like great person and flawed person. And I think like that might have been one of the most realistic things in a movie that was like very set in realism. But you know, Jude Law was out here like defending the people, looking out for the people. He definitely like made up some bullshit as well. And like Lawrence Fishburne definitely like helped his wife and like used what he had at his disposal in a little bit of like an unfair way. But at the same time, like I don't think you go away from that movie being like Lawrence Fishburne is a fucking scumbag. The way like
especially
if
with
Twitter
what he did at the end of the movie.
Yeah, and but it's the kind of thing where like if Twitter got a hold of like what he did, people would like freak out. And
I disagree.
One thing you disagree?
I just think it's impossible to like know that information and not call your wife and tell her to leave. And like I totally get it. I know that other people are allowed to be mad, but like I wouldn't tell like Obama like don't go tell Malia that
to like get out of town.
Yeah, like
yeah, but people are that ridiculous. Like in an example,
like it's an insane thing to get mad about.
The example of like people freaking out at NBA owners who like, you know how like Mark Cuban came out and was like, I'm gonna, Frankie, you even probably saw the Mark Cuban stuff. He was like, I'm gonna
pay for all the
have like a right. I have a program. He literally the night of the fucking coronavirus outbreak was like, oh, I have a program that we're gonna put in place for our employees. Which, like, clearly he didn't because the whole NBA got canceled like 30 minutes before he said that. But it led to an entire Twitter sphere to be like Tom Gores, what do you have up? Like, this owner, what do you have going on? James Dolan, what do you have going on? And, I mean, it sucks to defend, like, James Dolan and Tom Gores. I hate to be in that place.
I mean, you can't do James Dolan because he just wanted to play out the season. But
wanted to play out the season.
It's a little too much.
What a guy. He's going to fucking play a concert all of a sudden.
Yeah.
No, but it's like, I don't think people understand that that's just like not realistic at all.
Yeah.
Like, what about the idea that like these people own sometimes 20 companies? So you're just going to like come up with a payment plan to like give everybody just money that they haven't worked for. But then like your other company is going to get wind of that and be like, well,
where's my money?
You're paying the Pistons concessions people money. Why don't we get any money? It just like, it made no sense. But Twitter just like does that. I feel like Twitter would. The whole Jude Law versus Lawrence Fishburne thing, I thought it was really interesting. The Jude Law character, he was like the internet blogger, the internet blogger, like journalistic person, and I feel like he represents what today is Twitter.
Yeah, exactly.
And this movie was made
2011,
and it was like still when you're writing this script, you went to like internet underground blogger, where nowadays if you're writing this script, he's probably tweeting more than anything. Maybe like a Reddit guy.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I saw a lot of like conspiracy theorist in him. It wasn't, to me, it was less of Twitter and more of like Alex Jones and InfoWars.
And like profiteering.
It was, yeah, it was like, here is the problem. I will sell you the solution because I figured it out. I know all the answers. The government's hiding things from you. I have the answers. I will sell them to you, and he made a ton of money off of it. So I don't think it's as much of Twitter being super unrealistic as like someone trying to profit off of other people's vulnerabilities.
I'm just saying I wasn't as skeptical of Jude Law's character from the beginning though.
I agree. I agree with that.
I was pretty much like, okay, this guy's supposed to represent sort of like the people. Sounds like you, Frankie, were like pretty skeptical from the get-go.
Oh yeah, and especially when he's faking having the disease and he's faking.
I mean, we didn't figure that out till the end though.
Yeah, we didn't know he was faking it.
I ddid not believe that he had the disease.
Okay. I kind of agree with that. It was a little fishy.
Because he met with this I don't even know what he was, like a hedge fund dude, and he was like, I've got this on the DL. You're going to be hearing a lot about it in the next couple weeks. And then the next shot of him, you see he's drinking this stuff. He's like, oh, I got sick. And he's drinking this stuff. And he's like, I'll keep you updated tomorrow. And then the next shot of him, he's walking around completely healthy. And it's...
Yeah, I should have been skeptical. And like, why would the second hedge fund meeting, you would never meet with a person that was like fucking silver liquid tablets are keeping him from killing everybody. Like you would quarantine yourself away from the guy that said he was sick, even if he's like found a treatment.
Yeah,
exactly.
So I guess that is a little. Now I would say so many things about this movie, and we'll talk about it, are so real. One is which is like we see on Twitter every day now, like China has this new supplement that if you take like a dose of this whatever serum, it's like helping treat coronavirus. We see like South Korea doctors are suggesting that maybe like this other supplement can like treat coronavirus. And then it's like Jude Law's character is doing the same thing. He's like, we have these treatments. Why aren't they, why is like FDA preventing these things from becoming a thing in America? And that's like exactly what's going on in real life. And it leaves all of us on Twitter to be like, well, South Korea has a fucking serum. Why aren't we like getting this in motion? And it's like, we as like regular just American people and the whole world, we really have like no ability to know like how bullshit that like serum that's being reported in South Korea is. We have no idea. And who do we like believe? A lot of us, somebody on Twitter, we decide to believe.
I think it's impossible to decide what to believe. I was talking about this the other day. It's like you can trust your Twitter blogger, you can trust like the New York Times, you can trust TV. Like the right answer is none of them.
And we've been fooled by like the regular news is starting to realize that the way to make money and the way to like grow an audience is to be like the first to something. And so they've started to like break their own like journalistic rules. I know this is like super off topic.
Well, it was the whole Kobe Bryant thing, where like
they reported many things like wrong.
Yeah, just to be the first person to do it.
Yeah, I was thinking this is like very off topic and not national, but when the Stafford trade rumors came up, and it was like Stafford's being traded. Teams are calling in on Stafford, and Bob Quinn's taking the calls, and then Local 4 News is like the people reporting it, and people are like, well, the guy from Local 4 News is like good friends with the Stafford family, so it must be true. And then it comes out that Local 4 News was just like, oh, we were just reporting what Kelly Stafford Instagram storied, which was simply just that she thinks Miami would be nice weather to play in. And it was like, if our local news is just using like people's Instagram stories as sources, then how are we ever supposed to know what to believe in?
I don't know.
I think the only thing to do at this point is just to not believe anything until it becomes like
fact
credible by like many, many, many sources. Like
I need Sanjay Gupta.
Yeah.
You need the homie.
I need Novi Wildcats' own Sanjay Gupta. I said his name wrong, but you know who I'm talking about.
Sanjay Gupta in Contagion. That was hype.
Yeah,
wasn't
that
really
crazy? Yeah,
very hype.
I didn't know if it was like actually him or they just used his name.
When?
No, that was him.
I think it was Lawrence Fishburne was like on the news talking to Dr. Gupta.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say
like, that's like what he does in real life. Is he's that guy.
He's the CDC guy.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we did this. Well, he was the Surgeon General. Is that the word
right?
for Obama?
Yeah, I think so.
Is that the word, Frank?
I don't think he was the Surgeon General.
I thought he was.
He was like the number one doctor under Obama, whatever that is.
Sure.
I think it's Surgeon General.
Pretty sure.
All right, whatever. Brad, I don't think we got a score out of you, and you were about to say something.
No, I just thought the movie tried to do too many things. I thought the Chinese hostage situation was like cool, but I didn't really need it in the movie. I thought if they just had focused on Fishburne and Matt Damon and like flushed those things out more, I definitely would have liked it more, because ultimately I felt the movie to be a little unsatisfying. Like it was just too wide of a scope for like if it was a Netflix series where I had 10 episodes of it, I'd be like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
But like you got none of the like character development that I wanted at all. Like, I thought the stuff they were doing where they were exploring like the looting and stuff, I thought that was really cool. Like Matt Damon watching his neighbor get robbed.
Yeah, I got really scared.
Yeah. I thought there'd be like a break-in attempt on Matt Damon because he got that shotgun and stuff. And it's like, I thought it would have been better as a Netflix series.
Yeah, they definitely tried to give like Scott Burns definitely was like, these are the 10 things that could happen that like are very close to actually happening in real life now. And he tried to hit like every one. I agree with you. It might have made more sense to leave it to like the few things. Like Kate Winslet, for example. I think she's like slowly becoming like one of my favorite actresses.
I think they killed her off because they didn't have enough time to figure out what to do with her.
That
maybe, or just to say it's a
makes
thing we're
sense.
going through right now where it's like if the doctors get sick, that's like a strain on our health system. And like that's a real thing that happens in this movie. I was really sad that like the character that I felt like they were developing, maybe
I thought
the
she
most,
was like the best character.
She had to die, but that like caught me pretty hard. I agree with you though. What's her name? Like Marion Cotillard.
Oh yeah, she's a good actress. I think that's exactly her name.
Yeah, she's good. I do feel like that was definitely the thing that probably could have been on the chopping block. Though I do think it's another thing that's happening in real life where there's like a certain like political angle between the U.S. and China of like, do we help each other? Do we like share information with each other? If one of us comes up, I mean, there's like conspiracies of like weaponizing coronavirus, which like I'm definitely going to leave that to like the conspiracy like nonsense.
The Jude Laws.
But there's definitely a level of like how much information do we like bring back and forth and believe, and like do we help each other? Like how much are they helping each other? I mean, like Trump went on Friday and did his press conference, and like he called it the Chinese virus a couple of times.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, yeah, it originated in China, but there's definitely a level of like, there's a layer of politics.
He's just trying to.
That's not why he's calling it that. Let's just.
He's
say
trying
that.
to pass the buck. He's
Right.
trying to make excuses for his own incompetencies.
And it like ultimately is their incompetency. They made
it worse than they could have.
And well, they also like changed their laws to prevent this in the future. So it's not like they're admitting, like China is like admitting they're trying to fix the thing. They've created like 5 pandemics now because of their shit. But at the same time, there's definitely like I mean, we've seen people on Twitter tweet like very racist interactions that
I just like don't need to happen.
People being like, I saw someone said that they need to like get their like Chipotle remade because like an Asian person was the one making it.
No.
And like I don't know if they're like truly freaking out or if they're just like taking this as an opportunity to be racist. I don't know what the case is, but I feel like the Marianne Cotillard thing was like it was a spot on portrayal of like how politics like has, you know, she basically deciphers like, yep, this disease was created in your casino. And they were just like, oh, we're not going to let you tell the world that. And we're going to find some way to like use you. And there's like a layer of politics in it that is like actually happening. It's just another way that this movie was just like way too real. You got to give us a number, Brad.
I'll give you one last observation.
Yeah.
Jude Law was just like a caricature of like a London person. Like the way they fucked up his teeth that bad.
Yeah.
If you noticed it, they are just like
I did.
it looks like George Washington's like dentures that they put on these guys' teeth.
His wool.
It was just like,
Big
why do
Daddy
you have
reference.
to make him look this ugly? Because he's from London? Like, I don't think people in London are that gross.
Kate Winslet looked amazing.
She looked very good. She wasn't being a London person in the movie, though.
No.
This might sound stupid, but I'm going to give it a 6. I liked Pontypool more. It was just more fun for me, and I liked the whole radio station lock-in. I do think if they would have focused on like one or two of those storylines, then I would have like really liked it if they flushed out Damon or flushed out Fishburne. So I don't know. I think it could have been better.
Couple angles. Well, one, to your point, So this movie on Rotten Tomatoes, 85% critic score, 63% audience score.
Okay.
I think if you released it again now, like started the scores from scratch, that audience score would be up towards 85.
Why do you say that?
I feel like people probably
This was
watched
after
this.
swine flu, though.
Yeah, but we never had to deal with swine flu. America, under other administrations, managed to just like be above this kind of thing, and this time we're not. So I mean, you got after my point. My point was that I think, given what we're going through, people would think that this is like way closer to realistic, and therefore everything that's happening to all the characters might just like hit a little harder when you're like, fuck, like this is like actually what would happen.
I say like this was worth a rewatch only during a epidemic type thing. I don't think I would have like enjoyed it as much or at all during like a standard. I would like it. I'd be okay with watching it, but I wouldn't like have fun with it the way I did when I watched it.
I would like mostly disagree, and I would definitely tell anyone that hasn't seen it to watch it, and maybe watch it right now because it would be
Definitely watch it right now if you're gonna watch
if you're
it.
gonna
at all.
watch it. Yeah. Another angle. What a cast!
That's what I thought was stupid. They gave this beautiful, amazing cast like 20 minutes on screen each.
Like Marianne Cotillard getting like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I bet there was many scenes that were cut in the editing room of her.
Also that, I'm sorry, I don't know his name. I'm just going to call him the Chinese hostage guy. He's been in a lot of things, and he's pretty talented. I've seen him in a lot of things.
Chu Tian-yu, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah. You had Cranston.
Cranston was in this. He was
Yeah.
the general guy.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
But at the time, Cranston wasn't like, it wasn't like ridiculous to cast Cranston in a big movie in a small role.
He was in the middle of Breaking Bad during this.
Yeah, but he's still just this at this current moment. Like, he hasn't really starred in movies other than that one with Kevin Hart.
Mm-hmm.
We had Winslet, Paltrow, Fishburne, Damon.
Dimitri Martin, I thought was funny. I couldn't
Yeah.
remember who that was.
That was good.
And then I was like, oh, wow.
John Hawkes, who I mostly know from like Hustle and Flow, but the janitor, awesome.
Oh yeah.
Anybody else worth noting? I mean, basically just what a cast. I mean, I guess that's what Soderbergh will do, but it was just like a shock and awe to see these characters just keep popping up on screen.
Yeah.
Anything we learned from this movie that we need to apply to current day?
Get a gun.
We getting guns? This whole thing was just like a Trump NRA scandal?
Probably. Frankie, got anything applicable?
I just think that like we saw how bad it got in that movie, and they actually did kind of act appropriately. So I don't know, the way that it's been handled in real life was not as smooth as it was in the movie. So there's a good chance that doing that really will make it worse.
I also we didn't see the president at all in this movie, did we?
I don't think
I thought
so.
that was a little weird. Saying that, Frank, I'm like, well, if the threat of death was as imminent as it was in the movie, we might be in a lot more trouble. But thankfully, like, I feel like I was a little insensitive last week with my old people jokes, and I apologize if
I don't even. No, I don't think we need to apologize for how we were acting last week. Like,
we got it at like the tail end of when we could be making jokes about it.
this is unprecedented territory. I truly believe like it's crazy in America in the last 100 years. We have never had to deal with something that hasn't just been like, oh, something bad's happening in the world, but like not here.
Yeah.
Like in Detroit, Michigan, we're just like fine always. It's like pretty crazy that we're just like
Tornadoes, hurricanes, it doesn't really matter.
we're always just fine. And like we're having to deal with it. And we're not used to that. So we might make insensitive jokes. We might touch a bunch of microphones and then tweet got it 10 minutes later. That tweet is like the all-time tweet.
Yep.
Got it? It was just like, I mean, what a story though of whatever. It was Has time been moving slower than ever before? I honestly feel
I
like
mean, we're inside all day.
I feel like he tweeted got it like 7 months ago.
He did.
Like the NCAA tournament wouldn't even have started yet. It would have been announced yesterday. I feel like the NCAA tournament got canceled 6 months ago.
Can we not talk about it?
Yeah.
We might need to do some bracket pods to make up for it. Food for thought.
Oh, okay.
Food
I
for
got
thought.
you.
Bracket pods. Last thing, if you watch Explained on Netflix, the pandemic episode,
Eric knows a lot now.
they hit you with this like bat to pig thing, the bat to pig to human, and they even hit you with like it could be China's meat markets where they have bats and pigs, which is illegal now in China, thank God. But they also hit you with we're deforesting the rainforest, and therefore the bats are living where we're farming. And that's what happens in the movie. They show the bat they
Hanging above the pig pen.
They show a tractor like knock down some trees. And I almost felt like, I feel like if I didn't watch the Netflix Explained episode, I would be like, what the hell are trees being knocked down for? And why does this relate to the rest of the movie? But if you watch Netflix Explained, then you would understand all of that. And I would say, I think every president from now on should have to watch every episode of Explained like before inauguration.
Sex Explained. I know that was a whole sub-series.
Watch Sex Explained.
I'm sure Trump could learn some things.
He could learn some things, a thing or two. I think it would just like really prepare someone for the presidency because like I feel more well prepared.
For sure. Very consumable too. I believe they're only 15 minutes long.
They're fun. The fun game is to always like not watch the credits and then try to see if you recognize the celebrity voice that's like voiceovering the whole thing. Another thing, Bill Gates and Warren Buffett have donated like billions of dollars to try to keep coronavirus from happening, and it happened. But they saw that this threat was looming, and with like our global world as it is, they like people have seen this coming, and we've been like working towards coming up with like a universal flu vaccine, and they weren't fast enough to save the NCAA tournament, and it's a shame. It's a damn shame.
It's a shame. I think Rudy Gobert ruined that for us. They at least would have tried.
We like would at least would have a bracket that got canceled.
Yeah. Like they might cancel it today instead of last week.
Maybe. All right. It'd be nice if we had like an ad to enter here. Check out York Project at yorkproject.com.
Okay.
Doing a lot for the homeless, doing a lot for the needy. Hand-sewn apparel here in Detroit, Michigan, American made.
Maybe we should actually try and get money from him.
Detroit is in America. I don't even want money from Josh. Friend of the program.
We can think of it as our own personal donation.
Support small businesses in a time of crisis.
Sure.
And we're going to talk 28 Days Later. This was an interesting one. This is the time to shut it off and go watch it. It is on Hulu for your viewing pleasure. It is directed by Danny Boyle and written by him and Alex Garland from Ex Machina.
Ex Machina. Annihilation.
Annihilation, as I like to say. And Devs. So, Frankie, before we get into it, you've been watching a little bit of Devs. Brad and I will catch up, and we'll do an episode where we make it a real topic. But you like Devs so far?
Devs is good. Devs is pretty good so far.
Dave or Devs? Which one's better?
Not even in the same. Can't even compare them.
Dave is just like so good that you can't even compare him.
Yeah. No, they're like the most different two shows can be, I think.
I don't allow for that. When people say like LeBron's the greatest of all time and Jordan's the greatest of all time, you can't compare eras. I say bullshit. If they were playing basketball against each other, who would be better? Devs or Dave?
I feel like it's comparing a wide receiver and comparing a quarterback.
No, but I also don't like when people make it more topical. I don't like when we're like, all right, give me your top 5 favorite shows of all time. And then they're like, Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad, Mad Men. And I'm like, you don't like The Office? And they're like, oh, well, The Office is in a different category. And I'm like, fuck you. Like Mad Men and Game of Thrones are in a different category. If you're going to I'm going to put you to the test. You're going to make a list. You're going to include The Office in your list. You don't just get to make a comedy list where it's just like The Office, Always Sunny, and then no other show.
I respect that.
Step up to the plate, Frank. Debs or Dave?
I said it, and you were yelling over me. So far, as the first 3 episodes are out of both shows, I would say Dave, because so far, Devs is more of a slow burn.
Okay.
Oh, so you're preparing to change your mind.
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Makes sense.
We'll see.
Like you got one flip-flop sandal on, but you're not fully flip-flopped.
Sure.
All right. 28 days later, Alex Garland's like first writing like big feature situation, I would say. Frank,
Was it before,
super fan.
Was it before the beach? Was it before the beach?
That would
with
be
Leo?
for you to answer. That would be for you to answer.
Well, I don't know.
Anyways,
the answer, so
28 days later, Brad, you have like a lot of thoughts on 28 days later.
Well, just like I remember loving it so much when I was like 17, and that was like a different era. What? How old was I in like 2011?
When you were 17, you were 17.
Yep.
Pound of flour, pound of weight, pound of bricks.
It just seems like the most dated movie I've watched in like a very long time.
Yeah,
To the point where it like wasn't very fun for me.
I want to respond to that, but I want you to give me a number first.
Sheesh. I don't think it's really like fair. Although like I watched Blow and that was from 2001 and I thought it looked a lot better. Maybe just like a straight 5.
Just the averagest movie of all time.
Yeah, but it's hard to like weigh it against like modern horror movies and like action movies, but if it was made today, I think it would be like an 8, or like they'd correct all the problems that it has and it would be a lot better. But as if you watch it today, it's probably just like a 5.
I totally understand that.
Yeah.
I would give it like
I feel bad for this movie.
I think I want to give it a 5. Like, I think that's like the very middle for me. Like a movie worse than that is like slightly
worth
bad
watching.
or very bad, and a movie better than that is like slightly good. I think that's just like the most average movie. And I agree with you
I agree.
that I feel like, yeah, they did the thing where they made the real issue here was like humans.
Yes.
Like it was like an interpersonal human story. And there was like, you know, a lot of the dad dying was like very sad. It was very human. The commitment issues from the one character to the main character was very human.
Elliot and Selena.
Yeah, and then of course the rapey vibes.
Okay.
That was like definitely a human.
Can we talk about it?
Well, we'll talk about it. That was definitely like a human situation. That was the real danger of the last 30 plus minutes in the movie. But it was just shot so they thought they were doing like a cool guerrilla thing, but it was just a thing that like doesn't translate to like modern TV and
That
like our
movie
modern. What was that, Frank?
that movie looked so bad.
It looked like shit.
I will say
It looked so bad.
the first 20 minutes when you like get the scale of like empty London where he's like walking by himself, I thought that looked really cool, and I thought he was doing a lot of cool things. When you see him crossing the bridge with like his bag of Pepsi, like I thought it was like cool, but they went in that like guerrilla style like you were talking about.
I felt like the blocking was cool, but like the production design and the actual camera and cinematography was very uncool.
Yeah.
It made you feel like you were watching like a low budget film that was just really
I think
crafty.
it might not have had that much money, to be honest.
I'm sure it didn't have like a ton.
because there's no actors in this. None of these people were like,
Right.
yeah,
And I guess we could have done like a deeper dive into
the actual budget. But
No, but I know for a fact they chose to do like a guerrilla style when they didn't necessarily
Yeah.
need to.
Budget
And
was
I
8 million. 8 million.
That's not bad. I mean, when you're doing like a large scale, like let's make a city look empty and let's have zombies and let's have like action towards the end, 8 million is sort of small, but 8 million gives you the ability to use like good cameras for sure. There's no reason that like the margin between like doing a guerrilla video because you have to because of budget, and the margin between that and using like a real camera does not leave you with like shitty set design. Like,
yeah,
Set design's like a much bigger issue than that margin. And I almost felt like I wonder how they came up with like empty London looks. Because it kind of felt to me, it almost looked like they were making like a claymation in the background of like, here's a guy walking. Or like, there's this scene where they're driving the taxi like over like a hilly,
Oh, it was
like,
terrible.
grassy thing.
Where it's like burning Manchester.
It like kind of did not look real. It looked like a cartoon.
Well, they did a couple of those cuts where they did like random, like kind of like euphoric or like psychedelic, like filters over the movie, which like watching it, I was like, why is this here? Like, why are they doing this? Like,
the editing was very weird. I watched a South by Southwest screener for the Carnivores like right after, and the editing was like way, way, way weirder. So to me, 28 Days Later's editing, while weird, seemed like okay. But it definitely was just, it was just put together in a way where at one point it might have felt guerrilla. In 2020, it just felt like messy and like kind of shitty.
yeah.
I would say my other critique is just in the zombies just like wasn't hitting the spot for me at the moment. At the time being, I just like wasn't into zombies.
Yeah, it made me not want to watch a zombie movie.
I don't know.
I thought it was cool that they were like fast and they were like coming at you, but like I feel like some of the shots that they were doing like just made it feel like cheesy, you know?
Yeah, how do you feel about zombie movies in general?
Well, I feel like this was the zombie movie that I liked. And like, well, I love Zombieland, and it's like, it's tough because I thought I would like this, and I really thought it was just fine.
How do you feel about end of the world movies in general?
What?
Like apocalypse movies?
I don't know. They kind of give me anxiety, but
I mean, anxiety is that means your feelings.
I guess. I think they're fine. Like I look forward to watching some of them for sure. I'm not like out on the genre.
What about you, Frank? How do you feel about zombie movies, and then how do you feel about end of the world movies?
I feel like I like end of the world movies more than zombie movies just because there's more room to be creative. Like a zombie movie is a zombie movie. Like you can't really do much with them other than the undead are coming to get you type of thing. But I don't know, like apocalypse, like, you know, you have This Is the End as an apocalypse movie, like one of the best. Like that kind of stuff is fun.
Well,
yeah.
Wouldn't Zombieland be the version of that for zombie movies though?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not saying that they can't be good, but I just feel like there's more room to play in a different kind of movie.
I would say, I'm trying to formulate this because one thing I would definitely say is I think I like end of the world movies more. Like if you gave me a Rotten T score and you said like, there's this genre, do you typically end up liking movies less or more than the Rotten T score? So for example, like action movies. Let's say
Mission Impossible.
Yeah, like Mission Impossible has like a 90 on Rotten Tomato. I'm usually gonna fall like way under that as far as like what my score is. But end of the world movies, there's a movie like 2012, which I don't have the number in front of me, but like
I don't remember that movie.
It's known as like a not good movie, and I like really like 2012. Or Day After Tomorrow is known as like a not good movie. Day After Tomorrow is like one of my favorite movies. So I think I'm just like susceptible to end of the world movies for sure.
They're like the sports movie.
Yeah, I
Same type
agree.
of thing.
I agree. Like I'm just intrigued and like, okay, like we don't have any electricity. Like who's the guy that knows how to make electricity work? Like just like all these questions are always interesting to me. And like every filmmaker gets like have his own take on it. Zombie movies. I like World War Z a whole lot. I really like World War Z.
I think if we would have we should have watched that one instead. But after this, I didn't want to watch another zombie movie.
And like zombies and like the coronavirus are like two pretty different things. So like, but you look up what a virus movie and someone's like, well, there's a virus. It's when you say kills kiss and then all of a sudden there's a zombie.
Yeah.
So like it's kind of hard to, you know what I'm saying?
It's broad spectrum.
Very broad. I would say so. I like zombie movies. I like Zombieland. I love Zombieland is like my favorite ongoing franchise.
Yeah, for sure.
So maybe I just really like zombie movies and end of the world movies, and I feel like this movie tried to do both like pretty well. They tried to be like this is what London's like when there's no one to make food for you and you're just drinking Mountain Dew, which I thought was the Mountain Dew situation was cool.
What
I
do you
enjoyed
mean?
it.
Like the rating vending machines?
Well, and then he almost passes out in the stairwell because he's like only intaking sugar drinks.
Yeah.
I liked like them shot like every single end of the world movie. Quiet Place. We're about to see Quiet Place 2. There's like a shopping scene.
I am exhausted from the shopping scene. Can I talk about this for a second?
Yeah, let's talk about shopping scenes.
So, like, first of all, why is this one grocery store completely fine?
True.
Why is it completely fine? Why is there ripe, perfect apples
I got it. Because apples
28 days later?
apples last like a long ass time. You buy a bushel from Eastern Market, they last forever.
I don't know.
They do. That like actually made sense to me, and I was like, oh yeah, this is what I would do if I were instead of toilet paper, I'd be buying apples.
Can I go through all my critiques right
keep
now
going,
then?
keep going.
The scene in the subway where they drive the taxi car through the like pile of cars.
Yeah.
It was kind of lined up like the blue streak at Cedar Point, where it was just this perfect up and down thing. And like,
Yeah, God forbid you just hit anything that stops you.
yeah,
What?
like God forbid there's like a shopping cart that like just pokes you. Like what?
Yeah.
That child actress was absolutely terrible. She was not good. She took me out of the movie completely, especially when she's like on the Zans and is like acting like a complete fool, and it's like supposed to be this stressful like climactic ending, and she's
Zan's
like
gonna take you. Zan's gonna break you.
she's just like Snow White running through the thing, and I'm just like, I'm out. Like, this is not good. This lady sucks.
It was not great for me either.
No. Also, the soundtrack was the worst ever. I know this was probably like prime time 2001, but like, just give me no music at all. Like, just give me like the classic, like every modern horror movie these days, like just has like footsteps or like has the
some weird sounds.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
not like music. Yeah.
Don't give me like industrial rock music as these people are running around. I just like.
Frank, did
I
you
feel
like
like
the
that-
rock music? Give me your like overall thoughts on your score as well. And the rock music for sure.
The music is to me what really dates that movie.
Oh, for sure.
as well as the camera, the look of the movie. The music definitely brings it back to a specific time where like industrial rock was like the sign
That's
of
what it
like
was.
end of the world
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah, it wasn't great, but I mean, like you said, at the time it was probably like sweet. Like it was probably really cool or whatever.
It's probably
It was, like,
wicked,
it was
you
like, yeah, it was like something that people like, oh, I've never even heard this before. Like it's like
Badass.
so futuristic, it's crazy. And now it's like, oh, that sounds like the worst music.
You think it was the guy from
Yeah.
Lady Jane's favorite movie?
Is that
No?
a
Might
true
be.
thing?
I don't know. It just seems like you would like it.
Oh, possibly. Wicked awesome.
Continue.
Yeah.
No, I agree though. The movie was like, I don't think it was a terrible movie. It had some potential. I did like some of the relationships in the movie, and the human aspects of it were interesting to think of during this kind of event, but it just didn't hold up in any way. I don't know if it was like like how people felt
It
about
was
it when
well
it came out.
received.
But I agree, like the guerrilla camera thing, the blown out colors, the softness, like it just looked really like student film, and I don't know. It wasn't a great movie. I think very average. I think a 5 is a perfect place to put it.
Hit the rapey vibes.
Yeah. You want to talk about that?
Yeah.
You want to talk about that? Well, real quick, I would say it did feel very like in film school. I feel like it could be an example of like how to make sure your film like doesn't age poorly.
Yeah.
Like there's ways to and there's ways not to, and I feel like it would be a case study of like, here's a movie that is good in its time, in a vacuum, it's good. Give it years for people to view it through a different lens, and like maybe it's bad. So
Yeah.
I think that would be like a good case study for that.
For sure.
You want to talk rape vibes?
It was so dumb.
I don't know.
Eric, it has been 28 days. Like,
Yeah.
a group of men just don't turn into just like rapists immediately.
In 28 days.
Like,
yeah.
what the hell?
Like if it was like 30 years, then maybe you're like, we kind of got to have babies here. Bro.
Yeah.
But like 28 days,
That's
I
pretty
agree.
consistent for single men, I'd assume.
What?
A 28-day drought?
Oh yeah, that's just like normalcy.
Yeah.
That's just normalcy. Yeah.
It got so gross. Like,
And then all of a sudden they're dressed up in dresses, and who would that be on anyone's mind? Like what, the dresses?
that was weird.
The Zans started happening.
And I don't think it was like we're 2001, we can do like a rape thing. I think it was just like a bad script choice. Like, it definitely wouldn't happen today, but like it shouldn't have happened in 2001, even if that was like okay.
Anything we learned that we need to
Don't fall asleep during a zombie apocalypse. Don't go to bed during coronavirus.
Don't go to bed.
Yeah.
What about you, Frank? Anything you learned? I think one thing.
I got one.
Yeah.
Freeze your vegetables and fruits.
That's good.
I think he would have been a lot more healthy if he had a bag of frozen strawberries.
You don't
in
pass out when you're like running from the zombie up the stairs. I
sure.
think
I have
in
a
general
question.
you learned that apples last a long time.
I think I did learn that.
Apples last a long time.
Frank?
Was there no water in these like fridges that this dude took all the Pepsi from?
Did think that was weird.
Were there no bottles of water in this?
This
hospital?
was like pre Michelle Obama.
I sort of agree with that thought as well.
Like maybe back in 2000 whatever there was just like only Mountain Dew.
There was still Diet Coke in like 7th grade. In like, what year was that? 2000?
Are you saying you
2006?
want him to drink Diet Coke?
No, I think it just makes a little bit of sense that there wasn't any water in the vending machine.
I could see it.
Yeah.
Powerade. Like, do you guys remember All Sport? I believe it was called All Sport.
No, I don't.
It was like another like Gatorade type drink. I used to get it at CompuWare Ice Arena all the time.
Interesting.
They used to have those in vending machines.
Okay.
So that would have done him some good.
Are we going 5s across the board here, Frank?
Right?
Yeah.
3 5s. This is like, we had this argument about how to rate movies. We're gonna like build the scale around 28 days later.
Yes.
That's what we needed.
Yeah,
This is
This
what
is
we
the movie
needed.
that we needed to watch to be able to explain this.
for sure.
I just want to say,
All
after
right.
you guys left, Logan was like, look at this, and she showed me a picture of like some like rating scale thing, and it completely just backed up everything that I said. She was trying to like prove me wrong, and like the picture she showed me was just like exactly what I was talking about,
Yes.
where like the scale was like bigger, like 65 was the flat middle of the scale that she showed me.
Yeah, that's like what we don't want.
65
Like
out of 100 is not the middle.
Well, that's the shit that Logan was showing.
That's the point. That's the point.
So people's minds are wrong, and it's our duty to fix them. We're going to say that average movies are 5s. That means that if you get a 5.8, big time adolescence, then that means you're like, okay.
Frank, watch it. It's really good.
Really good.
All right.
I mean, it's a 5.8, but it was
It's
fun.
5.8.
It's a good
It
ride.
means it's a fun time. Fun time. So this is just like random live discussion, but to like wrap it up, what do we need to, what should people be watching when they're just like at home doing nothing? I mean, Big Time Adolescence is a good option.
Oh,
It's an original
What's in the
new
queue?
movie on Hulu people should watch. Buffaloed, which is Zoe Dutch's new movie, is on Amazon to stream. If people haven't seen Honey Boy yet, watch Honey Boy.
Oh, watch Honey Boy.
I feel like that's the thing people haven't watched.
I'm gonna watch Sopranos.
You're gonna do Sopranos.
I'm gonna do Sopranos. My barber told me to.
I'm like halfway through Sopranos, and it's. I remember when we interviewed Maddie Wise, like however long ago that was. I was like still watching Sopranos, and that was like a year ago.
I mean, we have more time than we've ever had ever.
And maybe that was the time. Maybe that was the time I finished Sopranos.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I've been watching Ozark.
Oh, like you're catching up?
I have never watched it.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. It's like, I'll watch Jason Bateman just kind of like do whatever.
I think he's the hardest working man in Hollywood. If you think about it, he always has a movie out, and he's in The Outsiders. He does Ozark, and he's always in like 3 dad comedies a year.
And he's like co-producing, directing, and writing Ozark as well.
He did that with Outsiders as well.
So what do we think about Jesse Pellman as hardest working man in Hollywood? He's always there.
No, I'll take Jason Bateman.
True. It's harder to be a leading man.
Yeah.
Frank, what do you think people need to watch?
Devs? I'm going to watch Devs too.
Watch Devs and watch Dave. Watch them both.
Okay.
Both on Hulu.
FX.
Yeah.
FX. They say they got the movies, but like I think they're like a TV show kind of thing.
Also, season 14 of Always Sunny
Oh, yeah. It came on Hulu.
on Hulu.
Yep. I got you.
Get it
Frank.
A good season.
Pretty good season.
Better than 13 and 12, I would say.
Yeah.
All right. You stocked up on your groceries?
Yeah.
We all
Stocked up.
good?
Mm-hmm.
We all safe?
Yeah.
We all clean?
Finally.
And that's the wreck.
Full of schemes I was chasing, even got ahead of my dreams, be patient. Mama told me stress ain't a thing, wasting bread, smoking cess till I sleep, I be pacing. Looking for that check and the cheese, I keep it basic. Can't feed for no respect, I got my team.